Santa Clara, California. AP, in just 2 starts with San Francisco, Jimmy Garoppolo has shown the traits of becoming the franchise quarterback for the 49ers. That's just the kind of play the Tennessee Titans need out of their promising young quarterback Marcus Mariota down the stretch if they want to make the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. The usually reliable Mariota is in the midst of one of the worst stretches of his 3-year career heading into the game Sunday between Tennessee 85 and San Francisco 310. Mariota has thrown 8 interceptions the past 4 games and has failed to reach 200 yards passing for 3 straight weeks as the Titans have dropped a game behind Jacksonville in the AFC South and have only a 1-game cushion in the wild card race. Mariota had his worst game of the season in a 127 loss at Arizona, completing 16 of 31 passes for only 159 yards without a 2 count and being intercepted twice. The frustration boiled over into the post-game interview where Mariota apologized this week for acting rude and inappropriate. The St. Louis graduate will face his former University of Oregon teammate, Punahou graduate DeForest Buckner. According to Pro Football Focus, the 49ers defensive tackle leads the league in quarterback hits by an interior defender with 17. When you go through a tough game, it's nice to get back on the field and go out there and play, Mariota said. It's probably not a good thing to bottle frustration up all the time, but at the same time I was pretty upset with the way that I performed and I think it just carried over. Garoppolo has provided excitement in another rough season for the 49ers. Since taking over 2 weeks ago from rookie C.J. Beathard, Garoppolo has thrown for 627 yards to lead San Francisco to back-to-back wins and showed why the 49ers thought highly enough of him to deal a second-round pick to New England to acquire him at the trade deadline. His performance has given a needed spark to a team that began the season with 9 consecutive losses. Jimmy's made some big plays, which does give guys confidence. It makes receivers have more fun down the field, Coach Kyle Shanahan said. I think defense and special teams see that and feed off that just like the offense feeds off them. Here are some other things to knock them out. In a midweek team meeting, Shanahan went over the remaining schedule featuring 3 contenders in Tennessee, the Jaguars and Rams. He challenged his 49ers to somehow make an impact on the playoff chase in the final weeks of a lost season. He said some things in our meeting that kind of made a lot of sense. These next teams that we're playing, if they lose then they're most likely out of the playoffs, linebacker Eli Harold said. I looked at that as let's knock them out. I'm going to do whatever I can to help the team win and lay it all on the line for these last few weeks. Sack them up. The Titans certainly are showing they know how to put the quarterback on the ground. Harrell Casey had 2 sacks with 7 other Titans getting a sack in Arizona as Tennessee piled up 8 sacks in the loss even with linebacker Derek Morgan, their sack leader with 7.5 sacks out with a sprained knee. It's the second time in 3 games the Titans have had 8 sacks in a game, and they have 20 over the past 3 games, the most in the NFL in any 3-game span this season. The 8 sacks tied for the 3rd highest in franchise history, just 1 off the team record. The Titans have had at least 4 sacks in each of those 3 games. Selleck time. The catchphrase Selleck time began last month after tight end Garrett Selleck made up for any mistakes this season by catching a 47-yard 2-count pass late in the second quarter of an eventual 3,121 victory against the Giants, the 49ers' first win of the season. Selleck made a 9-yard reception the play prior to his 2-count, a 7-yarder the previous snap and an earlier 4-yard catch. I had like 3 or 4 catches in a row and then the big play and that's when Kyle said it in a meeting, Selleck said. It was kind of catchy I guess. It caught on, and all the guys have been saying it and giving me a hard time. Selleck has been steady through 3 quarterbacks, making 17 catches for 245 yards and 3 TDs. We just started joking there that they didn't realize that it was Selleck time and it just kind of stuck, Shanahan said. We thought it was a one-time deal, but it came up again last week so now we're getting used to it and guys enjoy it. Stingy D. The Titans allowed only 4 field goals last week, the second game they've done that this season. They've also been very stingy since the first month of the season. Starting week 5, Tennessee is allowing only 295.1 yards per game. That ranks the Titans 5th in the NFL over that span. ______.